Good news for the Troy Trojans. It's Locked On Sunbelt.
You are Locked On Sunbelt, your daily podcast on the Sunbelt Conference, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
All right, Dave Schultz, Locked On Sunbelt, your teams every day. Today's episode brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. Head to 5hourenergy.com to find over 15 flavors to choose from. Need one now? Grab a 5 Hour Energy shot at your local grocery or convenience store. Stock up today and stay energized. All right. If I had stayed at Lexington for both sessions, that I'd be needing my 5 Hour Energy. We did come back after the day session. Did not get to see two good basketball games. Saw a couple of good teams. Creighton downed Louisville yesterday, and Auburn took care of business. Seemed a little bored in the first half, and the game changed on a dime. That was crazy. Like, Alabama State had a chance to take the lead with a minute and a half to go in the first half, and then was down by 10 at halftime. Crazy. Change like that. Anyways, Chase Morgan back in the Cajuns rotation, and Arkansas State taking on North Texas in the NIT. All right, why do I say good news for the Troy Trojans? All right, not that I am superstitious, but I'm probably a little superstitious. There was just not very. I do like the hat, by the way. That's a cool hat. My brother thinks I need to go to the Final Four now, but also is it crooked? This is a little big, which is surprising because I do have a big head, figuratively and literally. Good news for Troy, because there just wasn't that many upsets yesterday. The two big ones, obviously, Drake took down Missouri, and the bigger one was McNeese and Will Wade taking down Clemson, although I didn't have those two on my brackets. Many people did. In fact, I thought Clemson was better. McNeese was better last year, and so I didn't pick him this year, which is really a stupid reason not to make that pick. And one coach just got a huge raise at Clemson, and the other one's leaving, going to NC State, we think. All right. Apparently he hasn't signed his contract yet, but we'll leave that conversation for another day. All right. But I'm one of those guys who does believe that there are a certain amount of upsets, mostly because we're playing 32 games in the first 2 days. And there really wasn't even that many close ball games. That McNeese-Clemson game ended up being close, but it was double digits with like 3 minutes left to go. It ended up being a 2-point game, but they never had a shot to even tie the game. It was 4 points with 10 seconds left to go. Now, the Michigan game was close. That ended up being a close ball game, but otherwise there wasn't a whole lot of, I mean, that was it. Was that the only game that was close at the end? Like, there was not great, close, tight basketball games yesterday, right? We didn't have, was that the only fantastic finish? Like, to be honest with you, I don't even know. Like, when did that? I saw Craig Stevenson, because I guess the kid from Mobile hit the shot. But I don't even know when the 3-pointer went in. Let me see. Because again, I just did not see. I didn't think it was a great first day, is what I'm saying. Michigan did have a 41-27 lead at half. Let's see when the 3-pointer went in. I made 2 free throws. So, I mean, they made 2 free throws. Was the game tied? It was 6. Tyler McGee actually gave San Diego the lead 65-63. Trey Donaldson, he may be the one from Mobile, made a 3-pointer with 2:13 left to go. So even that is not quite a buzzer beater. Okay. That's why I think and we're getting sun. All right. Anyways, that's why I think it's good news for Troy. The only slightly bad news for Troy is that this game is not until 7:00 Eastern time today. So we have, the whole first half of the day to have a bunch of good ball games early on in the day to make up for that. And I'll give you an example. Way back when, that there were no upsets. And then an upset happened. All right. I don't know if it was Friday. I'd have to go back and check. But I know there were no upsets during that day. Again, I don't know if it was Friday of the tournament or not. But there were almost like no upsets on that Thursday and or Friday. And then the Richmond Spiders took down my Syracuse Orange. There were like almost no upsets in that day or that tournament. And then Richmond took down Syracuse. And so maybe that's where I learned it from. Somewhere along the way, there's going to be huge upsets. Now, if I was Troy, I'd prefer this game to be earlier to see if we could set the tone. But I still believe it's the same way. I don't think Troy has to play a perfect game and Kentucky has to be awful. I hopefully I have not portrayed that to be. I don't think Troy has to shoot 65% and Kentucky has to be 35%. All right. I do think Troy has to play well and Kentucky has to be off. Okay. I don't particularly like the matchup personally. I think there's athleticism and size that Kentucky has that Troy does not. Now, Kentucky is going to live and die by that three. Will they adjust if they are not hitting the 3-pointer? All right. And what happens if Tayton Conerway is off? All right. Because he was off in that Sun Belt Championship game and they were only down 8. If he's 2 for 9 and they're down 8 points, God bless him, because that's most likely not going to happen. Okay. Let me see how many points a game. I want to know how many rebounds. Also, he needs to shoot better than 66% from the free throw line. That can't be a thing. He also grabs 4.5 rebounds a game. All right. He's going to need a big ball game. A double-double would be nice. All right. Triple-double's a little much to ask, but he can't foul. He can't be in foul trouble. And he can be really aggressive and get into a little bit of foul trouble. All right. But that's to sit here and pick Troy. You could pick him to cover. I don't particularly like the matchup. My heart sank for 2 reasons. One, I hadn't seen Kentucky play much this year. And B, it just was not the matchup I was hoping for Troy. I was looking for a offensively challenged team, and Troy got the opposite of that. They got Kentucky. Do I think it's doable? I do. I do think it's doable. I'm not sure I think it's likely. All right. Certainly going to be rooting for Troy. I do think it is a tall task. All right. Don't make any bones about it. They will have to play. I think, slightly above their heads to get the job done. And Kentucky's going to have an off night. Again, I don't think it's going to have to be, I don't think Kentucky or Troy's going to have to play like a Villanova-esque game like Georgetown, if that's not like a 40-year reference, right? They're not going to have to shoot 9 of 10 in the second half. Can you imagine that? No shot clock back then to win the game. But they're going to have to shoot well, and they're going to have Kentucky on to an off night. Again, they're going to have to hold Kentucky to less than 10 threes, and they're going to have to be close in the rebounding, okay? If Kentucky has double-digit threes and Kentucky wins the rebounding edge, it's going to be a tough night for Troy. Those are my keys, all right? And we're just going to let that sun just keep on coming across the face, all right? Just see. That's how you know the world is round. All right. Let's take a timeout. We'll do a little baseball, all right? Chase Morgan is back for the Cajuns, and they are hosting the South Alabama Jaguars. We will do that after I tell you about 5 Hour Energy and Nissan, actually. We're all about the stats because numbers don't lie. And when it comes to the all-new Nissan Armada Pro 4X, the numbers are on an MVP level. With the ability to tow up to 8,500 pounds, it can quite literally carry the whole team, plus the gear wherever you need to go. It's powered by a twin-turbo V6 engine, delivering the strength and performance to handle highways, back roads, and everything in between. And with room for up to 8 people, the Armada Pro 4X is built for big crews, big adventures, and bigger memories. Whether you're exploring off-road trails or rolling up to the arena, the Armada Pro 4X brings power, versatility, and style wherever you go. Take your adventures to new heights in the all-new Nissan Armada Pro 4X. Learn more at nissanusa.com. And 5-Hour Energy. Daylight savings snuck up on us again. And if you're feeling that lost hour of sleep, 5-Hour Energy has your back. That extra sunshine means more time for fun, but sometimes you need a little boost to power through. Whether you're staying up late watching the NCAA tournament, squeezing in a round of golf after work, or just trying to keep up with your busy day, 5-Hour Energy gives you that quick, refreshing pick-me-up whenever you need it. I've been staying up late to watch all the tournament action, and 5-Hour Energy helps me keep up the next day. With longer days, I love getting outside or a hike or a run. Tropical Burst is my go-to for a quick boost. Whether I'm at the game or traveling, and I went to the games yesterday, 5-Hour Energy is easy to grab and keeps me feeling refreshed. Head to 5hourenergy.com to find over 15 flavors to choose from, including watermelon, blue raspberry, and peach mango. You can even build your own 12-pack or 24-pack delivered right to your door. Need one now? Grab 5-Hour Energy shot at your local grocery or convenience store. They're everywhere. Stock up today and stay energized. All right, Dave Schultz, Locked On Sunbelt, your teams every day. And we're just going to let that sun keep on moving across. It is, again, Locked On Sunbelt, your teams every day. So Chase Morgan back into the Cajuns rotation, and boy, do they need it. It has been a rough year for the Cajuns. They're hosting South Alabama. It hadn't been an up and down season for South Alabama as well. They got swept last week at Georgia State. They're 10-10. Cajuns are not much better. They're awful in the standings. They're 9-13, actually. Only Old Dominion. I mean, there's some other team. Let me see. Can we? No, I can't do that. I was going to try to make the list. Old Dominion's got 5 wins. Texas State's got 8 wins. And James Madison's got 7 wins. Not many teams got fewer wins than the Cajuns. Cajuns are 1-2 after salvaging the final game against that series in the series against Troy. But Chase Morgan is coming back. Hasn't been particularly good. I don't know if it's was the injury that got him off to a tough start or not. But we're just facing Friday night pitching. But he hasn't been off to a great start. And we'll see. This is, if you're the Cajuns and you're looking at, South Alabama just getting swept from Georgia State, you're thinking we need to win the series, if not sweep. And if you're South Alabama and you're looking at the Cajuns, you're saying, well, we need to do what Troy did, right? This is a chance for us to bounce back. No, it goes both ways. But Chase Morgan back in the Cajuns rotation tonight, and that is huge for UL. Other matchups tonight in the Sun Belt. Let's see what we have. Georgia State, can they stay hot? They're taking on Old Dominion this afternoon. That's a 2:00 start. All right. Remember, Georgia State, we thought was maybe a facade, a little fake, but then they take down South Alabama, who was hot going into Atlanta, and Georgia State sits atop of the conference. We got a big matchup with Troy hosting Coastal Carolina. All right. Troy is actually 2-1 in the conference. Coastal Carolina is 3-0. And actually, oh boy, this appears to be a doubleheader. Ouch. That does not appear to be great. Is that right? Because I thought it was a 3:00 ball game. Because that would be great. And maybe not. It could be just listed twice. Because otherwise it's a 4-game series. I don't know if it's a doubleheader. It's listed twice on the Sun Belt schedule. It's listed at 3:00. I got a feeling maybe did they move that up, you think? Because of the basketball game is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking they moved that baseball game up to 3:00 because of the basketball game. I don't know if they did that. That's what I'm thinking. They moved the baseball game up to 3. So Troy fans, as rightly so, you'd get people to come to the baseball game, even if it is in the middle of the day. Kind of the beginning of happy hour. And then, you can have a watch party or something like that inside the stadium or in the arena if you want to. But it is just one ball game at 3 p.m. And it's pretty cool. They actually start times on Saturday is 3:33. That's because of a lawyer sponsorship deal. It's a great job. It's a great job by them. Start time on Saturday is 3:33. I think that's the number to the local attorney. It's a great job by them. But that is a huge series anyways in Coastal Carolina versus Troy. All right, you got James Madison at Marshall. App State is off to a great start, right? They swept their series. Georgia Southern, I think, got swept. So we'll see what happens there. Southern Miss going to ULM. We'll see if Southern Miss can stay hot. ULM all of a sudden a little shaky. Arkansas State, did they stay hot? Let's see what they are. They're going to Texas State. Arkansas State is 10-10. They've won 2 in a row, but I think they are pretty hot overall. Yeah, they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They have won 7 out of their last 8 ball games. They had lost 4 out of 5 with their only win against Southeast Missouri. They had lost 3 in a row to Jacksonville State, swept Arkansas Pine Bluff, took 1 from Memphis, took 2 out of 3 from Marshall, beat Missouri State, and now they got 3 at Texas State. Arkansas State can make a huge statement in the Sun Belt with a series win at Texas State. Continue to get off to a good start. That would be 2 series wins in 2 weekends for Arkansas State. That would be tremendous for the Red Wolves under their new coach, right? Arkansas State 2-1 in the conference. And that's about it. Cajuns are at South Alabama. So got a couple of big series. Can Georgia State stay hot against the struggling Old Dominion team? Coastal Carolina and Troy basically atop the standings. Coastal is undefeated. Troy is 2-1. App State is undefeated. And can Southern Miss, stay hot at ULM? Arkansas State's at Texas State. And then, both UL and South Alabama, want to take advantage of each other. Neither one are playing very well. So they think they can beat each other up. All right. All right. Let's take a timeout. We'll come back. Arkansas State taking on North Texas in the NIT. We'll do that after I thank everybody. All right. We are hopefully getting more Sunbelt spring football coaches. That didn't come out right. Hopefully we'll get more football coaches talking about spring ball. Do really appreciate GJ Kinney. Obviously I have a set questions and was kind of surprised that he turned it around on me asking. I do like the divisions. I do. I understand why you might not. There may be a year where 3 West teams or 3 East teams are the best. And so that kind of messes things up. Not quite fair if that's the case, but that is going to be random. I think he does not like the divisions. If you saw that interview, I don't think I took the quote out of context. I think he was forthright in being, doesn't really know anything about the Pac-12, but when he says we're in the Sun Belt this year, I think that tends to lead to something down the road. But I do appreciate it. We are still trying to get, Charles Huff at Southern Miss. He came on with Marshall. So I'm still trying to get Dwayne Loggins, trying to get Coach Gibson, trying to get Major Applewhite, trying to get Mike Desimo, right? Again, I'm available at 6 p.m., Eastern time. Usually these guys are finishing up at 6 p.m. Eastern time. So I'm available then on a regular basis. And I do have some off days. So today was off because I thought maybe I'd stay for both sessions. And God, I would have been home at second game. The third game was at 6:50. So that's 8:50. So maybe the next game was going to start at 9:20, 9:30. So that's 11:30. I mean, I would have been home at 1. So we took today off just in case. Unfortunately, doesn't seem any coach is going to come on today, but I got Monday off. And then next Thursday and Friday, we may do basketball, but we're trying to get Reds tickets. So that's not easy either. Never been to Major League Baseball opening day. So we're trying to do that as well. All right. Again, thank you so much. We're getting back into it, doing more shorts and doing more videos. So appreciate all of the support and appreciate all the UK fans. I know there's, can't please everybody all the time. But for the most part, all the UK fans have been filling me in. So I do appreciate them letting me know what the deal is with the Wildcats. All right, let's get to it. Arkansas State taking on North Texas State in the second round of the NIT. All right, Dave Schultz, Locked On Sunbelt, your teams every day. We're just going to let that sun creep right across. All right, so Arkansas State easily downed their first-round opponent in the NIT, that being St. Louis 103-98. North Texas took care of Furman the next night, 75-64. And so these two teams will play on ESPNU. I believe that is Sunday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. And this will be in, I think it's in Denton. I don't think it's in Fort Worth. Why do I think North Texas is in Denton? Is that a thing? So it's north of Dallas. That's North Texas. And North Texas is a 4.5 point favorite. I should go back and mention Kentucky is back to an 11.5 point favorite. I'm not going to tell you I know anything about North Texas, so it doesn't really give you the matchups offensively or defensively. Let's see here. I'm not really sure. Let me see what they do statistically wise, because we know what Arkansas State is, capable of, as we did see that, right? So this is going to be the opposite. North Texas is going to slow things down. They average less than 70 points a game. They average 68.3. They only give up less than 60 points a game. All right. So this is not even, I mean, it actually is. It's a little bit like Troy and Kentucky, whereas Arkansas State is Kentucky and North Texas is Troy. They do not shoot. They don't shoot a lot of threes? Doesn't appear. They slow things down a ton. All right. It'll be a very interesting ball game. All right. Very interesting ball game. This is a game that Arkansas State could win. They can't get impatient is going to be the problem. All right. Forgive me if I'm not saying his name wrong. Tayton Wright leads the Mean Green with 15.2 points a game. And Brennan Lorient, 12 points a ball game. Rebounding wise, Maule Cisco, Sissoko. He leads the club, grabbing 211 rebounds a game. Let's see what the averages are. He grabs 6.5 rebounds a game. So they do not score a lot of points. I like Arkansas State in this ball game. I think Arkansas State has a real shot in this ball game. They got to bring the crew. Pinion probably has to have a big ball game. You know, he had an off night. Let's see if what the size is. Let's see. I'm looking at the stats. Let's look at the roster, and you need to see the size. Let's see what Sissoko is 6'9", 245. So he's got a little girth to him. He's going to match up against Isaiah Nelson. Brock Weiss is 6'10", and Grant Newell is 6'9". Baron Smith is 6'9". Let's see if those guys play at all. Let's see. Who do we see here? Individual. Grant Newell started all 33 ball games. He plays a little bit. All right. So he's in there. Brock Weiss does not play. And there was one other guy we mentioned. So I thought somebody else. So they do have a little bit of size in there. So we'll see. I think Arkansas State has a great shot at winning this ball game. Let's see what the money line was. Always a fun thing to do when you're going against the favorite. Money line is plus 155. Not that great. Not that great. I think this is a very winnable ball game for Arkansas State. And obviously, they don't have to work that hard, right? They have to get it into the 70s. Troy is going to have to work much harder to keep it in the 70s than Arkansas State is, you would think, to get it into the 70s, right? Like Troy wants this game, again, Troy and North Texas State want the same thing. They want the game in the 60s and the 70s, low 70s. And Arkansas State and Kentucky want this game in the 70s and the 80s. Kentucky wants a game in the high 70s and 80s. Arkansas State can get this game in the 70s, and they're going to win the game, right? If North Texas is used to giving up less than 60 points a game, and they put a 72 burger on I think they're going to win the ball game. They could win the ball game going away. All right. They just can't get impatient. And we've seen that. Also, here's the other thing, which we saw. I don't know if we have to worry about it. Like Brian Hodgson, for whatever reason, didn't call the timeout when he should have called the timeout in that championship game. I don't know if we have to worry about North Texas going on a big time run. I guess we could worry about Arkansas State going cold, but I'm not sure we have to worry about North Texas State going on a big time run. If I'm North Texas State, I may worried about getting blown out of the gym. I'm not sure if I'm worried about that with Arkansas State. Obviously, if I'm Arkansas State, I got to worry about North Texas defense. That would be the first thing. If I'm looking at a team that gives up 60 points, less than 60 points a game, they obviously can play defense. All right. So I have to think about that. But I got five guys, including at least one guy coming off the bench and Darian Ford, who can put up points. So, and if I get 3, 4, 5, 6 guys who contribute, it's going to be tough to beat me. So I certainly like Arkansas State in that ball game. Okay. We will probably have a Saturday episode. You know, we got to follow up the Troy ball game with probably just a specific segment on Troy and Kentucky, putting a bow on that ball game. We may have maybe just do a live recap of that one following the game. We can do a quick minute recap, put that short up, and then do a 30, 10, 15-minute live episode. Maybe that's what we'll do following the game. All right. Really appreciate it. Everybody have a great weekend. Enjoy the basketball game. I'm going to enjoy a nice day off and watch college basketball all day long. All right. You've been watching Locked On Sunbelt, your teams every day. Have a great weekend, everybody.